Right, so last time we left off, Tunde had just failed his big science competition. He was devastated. That magical clock, the one that never stopped, seemed like a cruel joke. He'd had all the time in the world, literally, and still couldn't make it work. He felt like a complete failure. But here's where the story really begins. Because change, it's always possible. After that public humiliation, something inside Tunde snapped. He looked at the clock not with resentment anymore, but with a new sense of purpose. He realized the clock wasn't the problem, he was. All that extra time, he'd just used it to procrastinate even more. He was lazy, undisciplined, and expected the magic to do the work for him. So he made a choice. No more lazing around, he started small. Instead of hitting snooze, he'd get up the moment his alarm, a normal one this time, went off. He started studying for just 30 minutes every day using a timer. He broke down his big, ambitious projects into tiny, manageable steps. Slowly but surely, the lazy boy who couldn't be bothered to tie his own shoelaces was disappearing. In his place was a focused, disciplined, and genuinely hard-working student. The magical clock on his wall just kept ticking, a silent witness to his transformation. It wasn't giving him more time anymore. It was just reminding him to use the time he had wisely. A year went by. The annual science competition came around again. His friends were surprised he was even entering. "Aren't you afraid of failing again?" they asked. Tunde just smiled. He was afraid, of course. But the fear of regret was bigger. This time he didn't have a grand, impossible machine. He had a simple, elegant project, one he had built step by step, failure by failure, over hundreds of hours. On the day of the competition, he stood by his project with a quiet confidence. He explained his work, the challenges he faced, and how he overcame them. The judges were impressed not just by the project, but by his journey. And guess what? He won. First place. The crowd erupted, but Tunde's eyes were on the old clock back in his room. He finally understood its secret. The magic wasn't about having infinite time. It was about understanding that every single second is a chance to start over. His failure wasn't the end of his story, it was the first chapter. It taught him a lesson no victory ever could. That true success doesn't come from a magical gift, but from the grit, the persistence, and the courage to get back up every time you fall. The clock never stopped, and thanks to his failure, neither did he.